Welcome back, guys. Hyped Sessions, episode 3. We are so excited. We have a very, very, very special guest today. Just going back on HiPED. HiPED is an acronym that stands for Happiness, Inspiration, Positivity, Enthusiasm, and Dreams. And we are pumped to share this with you and to inspire anybody and to inspire ourselves.
Very, very honorable and special guest we have today, the one and only internationally known master trainer herself, Michelle. Let's get in this zone, Fonseca. Let's bring her out today.
Fist pumps. Fist pumps.
Yes.
Fist
pumps. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on it. We really, it's so incredible. So incredible that we're here.
So excited to have you.
Thank you.
Guys, Michelle has been an influence in our life for such a long time, and we are just beyond excited to have her. We want to go straight into the first segment, one of my favorite segments, because not a lot of times you get to explain yourself in this way. We like to call it your origin story, kind of like a superhero-esque. We like to do like 2 to 3 minutes of just whatever you want to tell us. It doesn't have to be from childhood. It could be from any time in your life, but just your origin story. This is Michelle Fonseca, and this is what you've been through in your life, or whatever. Just let it flow.
Let the viewers know who you are a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm definitely from Kansas City. Not that that's a surprise for you guys. Huge Chiefs fan.
Yes.
And grew up with a single mom and 2 big brothers. And I would say one of the biggest transitional things that helped me define who I was the loss of my big brother. So when he died in a motorcycle accident in 1989, and it helped shape me for my life. So it allowed me to really focus on what matters and the simple things in life, being present, living my dash, and
incredible.
And I feel like through that, I have really helped people also flip on that light switch in their life and to be present based on the way I like to live. And so, my mom was my hero growing up and was a hero through that entire process with my brother and still continues to be. Just a huge fighter and finding the value in life. So I feel like been able to share that with my kids and living big and making it count and not knowing how long we have. So making it matter.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot packed into that.
I know.
That's
more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, that
but,
was amazing.
I think
there's a lot to say about that.
Not knowing what you said, like not knowing how long you have, is basically what we're about in HiPED and the heartbeat in our age.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea how many days you have and how many seconds you have with your family, with anybody, with the days on earth. And I think just being grateful and waking up and by you saying that you're living your dash is so important. Because sometimes people lose track of that, myself incled.
Well, maybe some people might not know what that is. You want to explain
The dash?
Yeah. Does anybody want to explain what that is?
You explain it.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know what that is, the dash is basically on your headstone. It's the dash in between when you were born and when you pass away. And so that dash is your life, right? And so, like you said, it's important that you live that to the fullest, right? Because, like Nato said, dude, it's a limited number of heartbeats that we have. We don't know how many, Yeah. And so it's about making that dash count.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And I just want to add to that because when my big brother died, he was 24. And that was 1989. So, and I just think of the impact that he had on my life and the way he showed up every day. Like, still, it affects me. Yeah. And still, I deeply miss him and feel like there was such an injustice for my children that they didn't get to meet him. But to me, he was so foundational in, my God, if he could show up that big in his short life, it's an inspiration. It's not necessarily what he did or what would he say, but just his presence was so big every day, no matter what he did. And that's been my guidance in how I just choose to live my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, imagine at 24, right? It just, and now I have a son that age, and that type of impact has been my North Star.
Yeah.
Has carried you
He has
basically
been.
the whole, like, it's just like, maybe not motivation, but like, inspired you to live better. I think that's so incredible.
Yeah.
And when I lost my grandpa, I was super close with him. I just, I was upset, obviously. You mourn, but I just strive like every day to live what he taught me. Like, that's what I think is so big. And it's never easy to lose anybody, in your life. But what he taught me and those like memories that I have, to live through those and to teach now my kids, is like the value that I see in our relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like you feel the same way about your sister.
Yeah. So I lost my sister a couple years ago. She was 32. And I struggle with that every day. I still struggle with that every single day. Like learning, or I guess learning how to live without like that phone call every day, and learning without like, hey, let's go up to Utah and see her, and let's, or she comes down, and so I guess or what mindset did you use to be able to overcome that? Because that's three of us that have had, a really close person like that. So, and I know there's millions of others out there that affects every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really easy to get into that rut, that like depression rut. So how did you I guess, could you explain a little bit more how you let that influence you to be better for like your family or yourself?
Yeah, I saw different people in my life, family members, that reacted differently to his death. And to me, there's no wrong way. It's just everyone's own space in grieving. And I think for me, it was just really feeling a sense of gratitude that I'm still here. Struggling initially of why was it him and not me? Why did it happen to him and not someone else? And instead of staying stuck in that too long, it was somewhat, what would Scott do right now? How would Scott show up? And I truly felt a responsibility to make my time count. And it was, that saying that we hear, we never know how long we have. And it's so true. But man, going through an experience like that and seeing someone that I love so deeply, where I thought there's no way he can't make it through this, right? Because he was in a coma for like 5 hours. If anyone can recover from this, it's going to be Scott. And then when it happened, it was like, so now what? How do I survive this? And part of what inspired me too was watching how my mom chose to handle it. How much my mom was so focused on my brother and I. It actually was right before my 21st birthday. So it just a couple days before, 4 days before. So, it's kind of crazy the way this conversation went, right?
Yeah.
But, the funeral home was like pushing for certain days, things to happen, which ultimately was my brother's funeral to be on my birthday. And my mom was like, nope, not going to happen. So it ended up being like the wake the day before, the funeral the day after, and still watching my mom on my birthday, which I actually felt guilty that it was my birthday. I didn't want to celebrate my birthday. And I didn't want it to be acknowledged because we were just all in such a different space. But being able to watch how my mom still made it a point to go get me a cake and everyone to sing for my birthday. And then after that to make sure that we could go to counseling groups and just be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And like, so now what? That's the big thing. And I find myself doing that a lot. So now what? Now that this has happened, how am I going to show up? How am I going to react? How do I choose to be in the moment? And I refuse to become stagnant or complacent, because I feel a responsibility to being alive.
Yeah.
To Scott, to what a disgrace that would be to not show up, and ultimately not to just do it for him, to do it for me, to do it for the people that I love, but God, what a blessing it is to still get to be here.
Right.
And how I choose to show up. And to me, that is keeping Scott's legacy alive. And I see Scott in my brothers my half brother, my big brother, and in my children. I see Scott.
Yeah.
And I see his spirit, and I see his vibrance, and I see the radiance, and I see the creativity. And so, I'm grateful to get to be here, and I know that it can go like that, and it's my responsibility to show up and make it count.
Wow.
So,
dude, that mindset.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think like
Wow.
it's so incredible. All the points that you touched on like hit so hard because like I think it was like 4 years ago, Kyle showed me this video of this guy Gary Vee, and it said that the chances of being born is 400 trillion to 1, and that like hearing that statistic literally changed my life that day because I was like, what am I doing? I'm not grateful every single morning I wake up to be alive, and like that has changed my life for sure. And then like think like about what you said about your mom. And, you know, like she prioritized your birthday during all that, you know, like maybe not chaos is the right word, but, you know, that moment in your guys' life, like hearing you say that and knowing you for whatever we've known you 6-7 years now and being so close with you and like seeing you with your kids, like seeing Lily since she was, like, I don't even remember when we met Lily, like 11 or something. And like seeing you've done that. Like you've done exactly what you said right in this moment, like right now, what you said, you've done with your kids. And I've seen it firsthand, and that's insane that like that happened right now. Like I'm with goosebumps thinking about that because like you just always prioritize that. She
made it a choice that she's going to make sure that the dash is lived fully.
Yeah.
And that you portray that in a way that your family knows that like, hey, this is something sad, but hey, life still goes on. We still need to be grateful for the time that we had with Scott or your grandpa or my sister, and to be able to, I guess, pay respects to them as in like, hey, okay, I'm going to live even my life to the fullest now, even more, to give back even more, and to be able to make it count that much more, because I know that's what you would want.
Yeah.
I've been so motivated lately to like even more intensely live life to like the full, and I guess it's not the fullest, but like, so when I think about my son Bo, right? So he's 2.5, like almost 2.5. And when I'm at home with him, like I will just do nothing but play with him. Even if that's sitting next to him, like I don't even want to watch TV. Like I've basically done my best to eliminate my phone, the TV, like just hanging out with him.
All distractions.
Yeah, because you know I only get, let's say, 2.5 hours every night with him, and then the weekends. But like that's so much more important than any say TV show, or to me. I mean, everybody else is different, 100%. But that time with him, I know is so meaningful, and just like sitting there right next to him, even if he's not playing with me, is like. I just think about like, man, like this is just, it's like, dude, it's incredible. It's incredible, like, really.
Like he's 2.5.
Yeah.
Right? Like it probably feels like yesterday he was born.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Like literally today, my son is 9 months old.
It's wild.
And like, I know it's, you know, he's getting close to that year mark, but like that 9 months.
Yeah.
Dude, insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like I talk to people about this like all the time, and I'm just like, dude, I gotta be better now, because like before I know it, dude, he's gonna be running around. He's gonna be 2.5. Before I know it, he's gonna want like, Dad, let's go play baseball. Let's go play football. Let's play tag. You know, let's go do this. And then he's gonna start copying everything that I do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so I want him to learn and have the, you know what I'm saying. I want to give him all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying. So like that's for that. You know, that's creating me to do my best to be better, so that he's better. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want him just to be, dude, I just want him to kick ass.
Yeah.
You know? And so like that's dude, it's just crazy, dude, because that's time we don't get back. And so like for you to be able to like put all that stuff away, because what's important for you is that family time, right? Because you are the fact that you're already aware of that is so incredible, because like, dude, you're 26. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't find that out until they're dying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, and then they have that regret of like, oh, you know, like I wish I could have done this more. You know what I'm saying? Or I wish I would have had more time, right? That's like the number one regret when you know you're towards the end of your life, right? But
I don't want that.
Yeah, right. You're not going to have that.
Shit out of
yeah,
me.
you're not going to have that because you're putting that time out there right now.
And I think what you said is so important, because awareness is the biggest part, right? But the thing is I think a lot of us are aware of what's going on in our life, but it's doing something different. Right? Because when we're aware of it, yet we're still sitting on the couch watching TV, knowing what we really want to be doing, but we don't do it. The actions don't support it. That's when we start beating ourselves up and go into a darker place, right? So the awareness and the action, which is where you're at right now, making it count, so that you can lay your head on the pillow at night and go, yeah, I committed to being the best dad, and I freaking was tonight.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Feels good. It feels good.
So
You
awesome.
saying that made me
crap,
feel good.
dude.
Well, I mean, okay, so last night, right, we're
so
all wanting
awesome.
to communicate, and the message that I get from you is, I'm putting my kids down. So, like, to me, that's a non-negotiable. So I don't care if the freaking president's on the phone. I'm putting my kids down. And there's nothing more important than that.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was so beautiful. To get that and just be like, well, of course, whenever. Right? Even if I don't talk to you tonight, that's okay. So I love that.
On the last, I think it was maybe 2 episodes ago with Cole, but we were talking about like some stuff, and every night I would take Bo to bed, and he would lay in his crib, and I would hold his hand. I would lay next to the crib, and I was literally for that, like, I don't know, 4 months that we did that because we stopped it. That was the best. Every night was the best thing like I've ever done in my life. Love you, Haley. But that was like, it was just so meaningful. And every time I fell asleep, but it was so amazing, like falling asleep with him. And
you look forward to that moment.
Yeah, it was like, I don't even know. I don't know what to say, because like, you know, because Haley's at home with them, and you know, it's amazing that she can do that, and I'm so grateful. And I like that I get that 30 minutes with him, just like holding his, like he knows that I'm gonna be there. Is like was like
makes the whole it makes it all worth it.
And then like what I was thinking, like, well, you were talking about Scott, is like you living through him is in seeing your kids, like his aspects in your kids is because you've lived through Scott. So like if you really think about it, like you've done Scott, like it's like done him a justice. I don't know how to say that, but like you took that, you embraced it, and you spread that, and now your kids and anybody in your life, like even us, are better because of that. And that like is bottom line, like one of the most powerful things I think in the world. Is doing something like that. And like you've changed, I mean, who knows how many lives because of that reason. You know, and that was like, when you said that, was crazy to think about.
Wow. That's
good.
That was
stuff.
amazing. That was amazing.
And I also love that we just got to talk about people that we really love in our life who continue to influence us every day. You know, and that's a choice. I mean, that's what I meant too by I have family and friends who reacted very differently and stay in a certain place, and to each his own, really. Right? Everyone has their own experience, and that's the other big thing that I learned through grief, is that there's no wrong answer here. Whether you like to spend time at the cemetery or you don't, or you journal, or you celebrate the birthday, or it really is such a personal experience. And I'm just grateful for my mom and the way she showed up, and still finding so much to live for, including me and including my brother Mark, and the relationship. I mean, I talked about Scott, but my God, if you guys could just meet Mark. he's my best friend, lose my best friend. Yeah. But I mean, at a soul level, like another human being that experienced the childhood that we did, and the connection, the loss of Scott, and watching my mom as a single parent, working 2 and 3 jobs, and that bond is so incredible. And it wasn't always that way, right? Because we were 18 months apart. So in school, I was crushing on his friends, and he was like, nope. Don't get near my sister. And and he lives in Ashland, Oregon, and he is one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. And I'm so grateful he's my brother.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just the coolest human being. So anyway.
No, that's awesome.
Great.
That's so
That's
good.
so cool.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
You ready to move into it?
Yeah, dude. Well,
Let's go straight into it.
You want to go into the?
That was our 2 to 3 minute
obsession.
intro.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, dude. I'm
Okay.
so excited to hear what you have to say
guys.
right now.
Okay, guys. I gotta ask right now.
Okay,
What are you guys most obsessed with right now? So I'm talking like one could be micro. Let's do both. Let's do micro. So like in this moment, like what are you obsessed with, and then in macro. So like what's something you've obsessed with like long term. Do you want to? You want
me to go?
Yeah, you want to go, dude. You want to go?
Okay, so right now, I was kind of talking to Kyle about this last night. I have 2, but I think right now, like I'm so, like kind of what I talked about earlier, like I'm so obsessed with just being like a better dad, but like, not that I think I'm a bad dad, just growing in the most, like the smallest ways, like just, like limiting that stuff or spending time with them or doing anything, like just being better every day and what I can do to improve. And like, same with being like a better husband, right? So those micro ways to do that and to improve every day, I think I've been really, really focused on that.
Yeah.
And it's been incredible, like an incredible journey. And I think in the macro, like what I'm like long-term obsessed with, besides this podcast, of course, guys, like, share, subscribe, follow us, links down below. Is probably my new assistant, Everett, just like teaching him. And so like, it's cool because he tells me like, I'm so knowledgeable for my age, but by teaching him things, cause he's never been in the field that I'm in, like the work that me and Kyle are in, like he's teaching me things. So like, I'll be like sharing my knowledge, and then what, like maybe not his input, but maybe like the next thing we talk about, his knowledge comes through, and it's like, wow, like it's just so amazing because he's 45, definitely older than assistant I've had, by almost 20 years. So it's like a different experience that he would tell me that I know so much. So I'm so like humbled by that and grateful that like he feels that way, and to show him that, and then also learn from him, like over the next whatever amount of time that he's my assistant, is like awesome. It's so awesome. That's for
cool.
sure my macro like obsession.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's cool, man.
What about you?
That's cool. God, there's this part of me that wish that I could just go donuts or my obsession. Something that people go, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And it's funny because, so this is one of the things that I do my best to say in here, sometimes out loud, almost every day, which is, okay, 2020 is happening for me, not to me. For me, not to me.
Wow.
So the transition
Wow.
of all that's happened in 2020, and which has allowed me an opportunity to go, what else am I going to do when I grow up? And look at like a second career right now, which is what I'm building. And so I would say my obsession right now is FFTs. Do you know those?
FFTs? No. FFTs? No, it doesn't even sound
Okay,
familiar.
again, I wish that I could go, okay, it's this magical donut, or no, it's not. So FFTs are Brene Brown's, her saying, and just to keep it clean, it's effing first times. Okay, so you can plug in what that is. Okay, so right now I am experiencing FFTs every day. So I'm building this second career, and
oh my gosh.
I'm in. So it's every FFT's, effing first times, right? And how vulnerable I feel. And just like out there, like on the skinny branches going, oh my God, I feel so raw and I feel so humble and excited. And like every emotion that I could feel is through these FFTs, right? Which is where the growth comes and the change comes.
Oh
and so
my
that's
gosh.
where I'm at. And so I'm like, okay, I'm having an FFT, lean into it, lean in instead of going, because with that
instead of being
comes,
like hesitant, let's get into it.
Yeah, because with that comes the hesitation of failure and starting something new and getting out of the comfort zone. Everything we talk about in training, right? And I'm like living it right now.
Yeah.
So everything from driving across town. What's the word I'm looking for? Not carpooling. Just
driving far.
Yeah, commuting. Right?
Yeah.
Hello.
30 minutes, right? Like at least, right? You're driving?
Yes.
Yeah.
And after being in this beautiful career I've had with Rapport, it's been maybe 6 to 9 days a month that I would go to Rapport. Now it's Monday through Friday. I'm in the grind right now.
Yeah.
The FFT of like embracing the newness, again, being the new girl in the office, not knowing, like thinking I'm never going to have to really use math in my life. My BS around what a salesperson is, how I carry myself, like so much is going on that I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing all these things I said I would never do.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. So these are FFTs are like daily. So right now I am obsessed with jumping in, leaning in and going, let's just go. I don't know isn't that great? But that's what Brene Brown calls them. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in an FFT right now. What am I going to do with it? How am I going to show up? How am I going to react? And it's just getting in and embracing it.
I love that so much. I love that so much. You're in an FFT right now.
Right.
This is your first podcast.
This is it.
I mean, this is only our fourth podcast.
Right?
So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
FFTs. And the thing is like for me, actually being in that moment going, how am I going to react to it? Yeah. Because right now, there's a part of me that wants to run. I'm a little bit nervous. It's like what we talk about in the training about fear. It's like, right, feeling excited and ready. Am I going to be at that approach, or am I going to be feeling embarrassed and running? And it's like, it's being in it and being willing to make mistakes and learn from that and not have all the answers. And I've kind of been at the top of my game for a while.
Yeah.
Right? And so now I'm like,
yes, to say
now
the least.
I'm like the new kid to go, everyone's going around the table in this new experience, in this new company that I'm with, Power Promotions. And they're talking about all the skills that they offer. And I'm like, okay. Let me tell you what I bring you. I bring you warm and fuzzy. I bring you energy. I bring but it's not necessarily a skill set. I trust my energy that I bring, but everything is brand new. And so every day I'm like,
that's next level.
FFT. Okay, how am I going to react to this right now? Just jump in and go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think about.
That's
like
incredible.
What I'm thinking is like, okay, so what you said about 2020, not that this wouldn't have happened, but for you, not to you, right? Is what you said. Mm-hmm. And now you like are FFT, which is I like cannot wait to say
We're
that.
Gonna get shirts.
I'm literally gonna wear an FFT shirt. I cannot wait for someone to ask me what that means. And like you doing that is it's just like so incredible, because that might have never happened. Or you might have just never done any of that, right?
Yeah. And certainly not at this point in my life.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have.
Yeah. And so now you're experiencing all these new things.
I love it so much.
And like by not living with regret, you're just doing it. You're FFT. Mm-hmm. And so like I feel like one of the biggest drives for both of us is like I don't want to live with regret. Like that's the last thing that I want in my life when I'm dying at the very end, or however long I make it. Is I don't want to have any regrets. Like I want to do everything I need to do to not do that. Yep. And so that's like that's probably like my number one motivation is not regretting anything. And so FFT.
And you know what though, some of it too is it's like some of this is not freaking fun.
No.
Like I don't find that I'm a good student initially because the chatter that I've got going on in my head of the expectation that I set for myself sometimes is so unrealistic. And I don't expect that of anyone else, but man, the pressure that I put on myself to know it. So it's like when I say leaning in, sometimes it's being okay with like embracing the suck, right? And just going, okay, I'm going to do this, even though it's not really a lot of fun. But it's just owning it and being in it, and then how I choose to handle it when I'm in it.
Yeah, and like sometimes, like in sales, like me and Kyle have talked about this so many times because, we feed off each other as far as like asking each other questions. And like sometimes he asks me like, how do you deliver a message to a guy? Like if it's bad, right? Like that's just part of sales is you have to, of everything in life is you have to deliver bad stuff or bad message. But like if you deliver that with confidence, like if you almost do anything in life with like a little bit of confidence and maybe not knowledge, but like confidence in your voice and your demeanor, then it never is that bad. Like I've had to deliver some bad news to customers, and it's never that bad because I don't believe it's bad, right? Because I know it's not that bad, and it could be way worse.
It could always be worse.
And so when I deliver that message, it's just kind of like we're easing it in. Like I'm just telling you this really bad news, but it's okay. And it's going to be all right, and we'll figure out whatever we have to do to not let this happen again or fix it or whatever. And like I think that's what's so interesting about sales is like there's different ways salesmen do things, and not any way is right, but like I'm super honest, and I'm going to tell my customer blunt, like whatever I need to tell him because that's going to be the easiest way. Like I had one of my customers ask me last week, like he's a great customer. I really appreciate him, but he asked me if I would play poker with him, like ever on a weekend, and I just said no. And I was just like, dude, I don't want to be rude, but I was like, I just bought a house. I have my kids, like my wife, like I just won't, and I don't want to lie to you, and I'm not going to tell you that I would, like I love you, but like I just like they're way more priority.
Right. It's not a priority.
And he might have not liked it, and we had a great conversation. It wasn't bad, but like I told him, and I was straight up, and I didn't lie to him, and I was just like, this is it, because now he knows what like at least my like other stuff means to me. It wasn't because I don't like him. It was because I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm just not gonna come play poker with you because I got a lot of stuff going on, and like playing poker with you, unfortunately, is not a priority.
Right.
Nothing to do with you, and I think that was like cool because Everett was there, my assistant, and he saw that. And he like saw that exchange, and nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened for me being honest to him about like, so it was, I don't know, that went on a tangent, but
that's also a release for you to be able to speak your truth.
Yeah.
Right. And now he's not holding on to some sort of a false hope or continues to ask a question. And again, it goes back to your non-negotiable right now. Yeah. Doesn't mean you won't ever play poker, but like at this time in your life, I'm not committed to it. And so you spelled it out. I have a lot of respect for that.
Thanks.
Mad props.
What is your macro obsession? What's your like long? What's your big time? Your big time.
GERD. So I would say
that was funny.
I just think of
FFT, baby.
time with my children and grandchildren and Lou. Like, and that was part of this whole, like the FFTs that I'm talking about with this second career. It's all by choice, right? It wasn't like forced. It was like, okay, I'm going to just jump into this because I want to. And because for me, it's more long-term, macro, I guess, as you're referring to it. Yet, what do I want? What do I want in the future? And the next, it's next chapters for me. And next chapters for me are freedom to create the moments. And that is to hang out with my kids, to go wherever they're at, to eventually grandchildren. not anytime too soon yet. And if it were to happen, I'd be okay because Lou and I can't wait for that. And you know what? I'm also really excited about the next chapter with just Lou.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to get time with the kids, yet Lily's going to graduate this year, and she's going into the military. She's made a commitment to the Air Force.
Wow.
And, you know, Luis is 24, and he's going to get like I say, real job. He runs a lab at UNR. It's a real job. He, you know, the way he talks about it is like going to like a company, San Diego, wherever he wants to go, a biotech company. And then Andres, you know, he's going to take off and make music. He's my artist, and so they're starting their own lives.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited for the time that Lou and I get to have together. So I guess macro, I would say, is just what I'm doing now. All the FFTs are for my future and being able to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Whatever I want to do. Maybe have my own podcast. Maybe make my own coffee cups.
That's right.
Yeah. So
it's cool to see that because, like, at least from me, like, you are such an unbelievable person, and like hearing firsthand that you're even getting better. Like there's always, depending on no matter who you are, there's always room for growth.
Yes.
And like it's amazing. It's incredible.
Dude.
It's incredible.
Dude.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. I'm so excited.
What about you?
Oh man. Okay, so micro right now, this is gonna get pretty deep, is like deep thought. Like my micro, I am super obsessed right now with deep thought. Like I'm talking like, let me give you an example. So like the other day I was driving to work, right? Leaving, you know, everybody has their daily routine when they wake up, whatever, before they go to work and leave. So I'm doing my same thing, you know, whatever. And I'm leaving, get out the driveway, up the street, and I turn right. And coming out of this other complex was another car. Almost hit me, right? Like literally, like they slammed on their brakes, and I like swerved into the other lane. They almost hit me. And it was, you know, this is 5:55 in the morning, you know? And so my thought process, I wasn't like mad at them. You know, I was like, I reacted, you know, I was like, whoa, you know, that was kind of scary. But then my instant thought process was, dude, what did they do in their life at that what happened that morning where either they maybe changed their routine or whatever, because I usually leave the house around the same time every day. Mm-hmm. So what was their routine? What happened differently for them? Or did I do something differently that put us at that same point where we almost got in a car accident? Mm-hmm. Wow. So it's like super deep thought, right? Like crazy deep thought, but like just that's just an example. But like I've been having like crazy thought like that like all the time, and so I'm getting super like, I guess, obsessed with it because it just kind of blows my mind sometimes. Like if you sit back and think about stuff like that, it really blows my mind. Mm-hmm. It really blows my mind to think about like why things happen for a reason or like what, you know, what's been going on. Like does that make sense? Does that make sense? You guys ever have like thoughts like that?
Absolutely.
Because like that has been blowing my mind lately.
Yeah.
No joke. Like I don't even know how to. I can't even explain it. You just have to like do it for yourself.
Yeah.
But like when you start thinking, okay, well, why did that happen? What happened here? Holy crap! Like, is it what's going on with this situation? Like, it's just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. And so for me, it's like everything always happens for a reason.
Yes.
And so it just depends on, are you going to let that event or whatever define you and put you down, or you're gonna roll past it and let it catapult you to the next level or whatever. And so then I guess that kind of rolls into my macro, which is just being better every single day. Nice. And so like whether that's manifesting good things to happen and putting that good energy out there, being better at that every single day so that I'm a better worker, I'm a better husband, a better father. Like just those things are like I'm super obsessed with that. To basically like you're saying, like take that next step, like to bring my life to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Because there's endless levels.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you might think you're at your top of your game, dude, but like Nato just said, like Dom just said, dude, you're not. You're like you can always increase, right? You can always increase or decrease or plateau. You know what I'm saying? But like why like, dude, let's FFTs these new experiences, you know? Let's get out there and enjoy that. So really that's like, awesome. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like just how things work out in certain ways. Like what brought us all here today. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like years in the making, right?
Dude,
like this is years in the making from when we first went to rapport leadership class to meet Michelle. You know, like
dude, if you
it
really
blows my mind.
If you think super, super deep, right? It goes back to what she said about like Scott, right?
Dude,
we literally have known Lily since she was, I don't know, 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And now to see like where she's at because of her and Scott and all that in her life,
right?
That's deep thought. That
right.
Yes, I love that. Yeah,
dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like it's insane.
Yeah,
like she had a choice, right? Like we all had the choice, like, but she had a choice to like capture that energy that her brother had and to give it to the rest of her family.
Yeah.
Right. What if she chose not to? You know, where would your life be? Where would your kids' life be? Mm-hmm. Like that's just like thoughts like that blow my mind. And so I'm just so grateful for like to like even think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like and I guess like how I feel is like whatever, you know, if you believe in God or if you don't, or if you believe in a higher energy or you know whatever. Like I guess what I'm realizing with that too is like that energy wants us to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like they like we're not here to in this life to, you know, 400 trillion 1 to odds. Like we accomplished that already. We beat
won.
that. We won
every day.
So every single day is like an incredible opportunity that we have just to be better and to have these experiences and to win. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to like kind of like everything we've been talking about, which is like that awareness and that mindset to just know that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like you might be like super down on yourself and maybe financially not where you want to be or whatever. Dude, make that, you know, instead of being okay with that and being upset and just thinking about negativity in that negative aspect, like, okay, find a positive and let that catapult you to a higher level and be better for yourself, be better for the people you know. Yeah. So that's what I've really been in my mentals. That's what I've been calling it. Yeah, I've been in my mentals real hard. Yeah. So it's been crazy. I've been in my mentals. I've been in my mentals, man. It's just been in the thoughts, dude. Like real deep, like real deep.
Do you find yourself? Because you showed me the spiritual book by Gabby Bernstein. Amazing. Shout out Gabby Bernstein.
Yeah.
Shout outs.
Incredible.
Like
book.
The universe, you know, like what Doughboy said, Kyle. There's no like, whatever you believe in, you know, God or the universe or some special being. Like the universe has your back. Like what he said, like the universe wants you to win. Yeah. And if you put out like if you put out good energy, you're gonna get good energy back, right? Yeah. The law of attraction. So, like you know, like if you're in debt, you don't want to focus on debt, right? Because that's what you're sending out to the universe. Right. So now you're gonna be probably in more debt. Right. You want to focus on how to cut money or how to save more money. You know, different things that aren't debt, right? Yeah. Not that word, you know. And so that's
debt free. Yeah. You're still ultimately focused on debt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's been. Yeah, I love thinking super deep into thought.
Dude, I love it.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't stop doing it.
It's incredible.
So I literally can't. Like I've already been doing it 10 times during this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't stop. Don't stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude. Yeah.
Literally, like, if mine and Haley's carpet was correct, we would have been moving into the house today, and we would not have had this podcast, and we would not be here right now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
And they came to the house, and I was there, and you know, I saw it and I was like, this isn't the right carpet. I was like, I'm colorblind, but I know that this isn't the right carpet. So Haley came down, whatever. And I was just positive the whole time. Yeah. I was like, whatever. You know, they're going to take care of it. They're going to order the right carpet. Like, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing I can do now. Yeah. I'm not keeping this carpet. And they reordered the carpet, and now we're here. And now we had more time to get prepared to move next weekend. Yeah. And it's like, so it's easier, you know, and so it's like, yeah, just yes, everything, for sure happens for a reason because you don't have control. Like pretty much over, in my opinion, you don't have control over anything, but you have control over yourself and how you react to things, right? Like I didn't have control over them bringing the wrong carpet,
right?
Because you know Haley told them what carpet we wanted.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They made that mistake, so I reacted, and I reacted in a positive way, and they took care of us and they ordered the right carpet.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It's interesting though, because I used to say that too, and I'm not a big fan of everything happens for a reason.
Okay.
And I really feel like that reality for me was when Scott died. So again, 1989, right? Long time ago. Yet still to this day, I don't get the reason for it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that happened to your sister.
Yeah.
I don't understand why a lot of things happen to people, whether it's abuse or whatever. So I have a hard time in my mind justifying that happened for a reason. I feel like it has more to do with how do you show up when how do you respond when situations do happen?
Yeah.
Right? How do you react? How will you? And I feel like that's just one of those phrases, and it's not to make it wrong, yet it doesn't resonate with me like when people go, and maybe it's because now that I think about it, the first time I remember someone saying that to me was right as I was at the cemetery with my mom, fresh flowers on the grave. A couple days, and just a stranger coming up with the best intentions.
Yeah.
Hand on the shoulder. It was his time. Everything happens for a reason. I was like, I had a few choice words to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that never resonates with me. So I believe that things happen, and you know what you choose to do with it in that moment is what makes the difference. Sometimes I can look at things and go, divine timing.
Yeah.
I like that. Like that resonates with me. Like this is divine timing right now.
Yeah.
The way of circumstances of everything else, for whatever reason, we're together. So I always respect when people say it. Yet, and it's, you know, again, everyone's their own belief system. Yet because of the loss of Scott, I've never, and so many things that happen in the world where I go, really? What do you mean everything happens for a reason? I feel like people use that at a convenient time to justify something that's going on or to explain something. So again, when I say this to you, please don't. I'm not saying that what you said is wrong. That like to me, it is like this right here. All that's going through my mind is this is divine timing.
Yeah.
That we are together in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I like that a lot better. I like that a lot better. Because I feel like you're right. I feel like that's kind of an overused saying that just kind of like people just kind of throw out there just for like shits and giggles. You know what I'm saying? But like, I like divine timing. I like that a lot.
Well, and like different intent. You know, like how you can use divine timing in different ways, right?
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. That's wild. That you never thought, like,
wow.
I never thought that would happen. Right now that we just still talk about that. And now my mindset is like, divine timing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's already hit the switch.
Yeah, 100%. I think that, like, it's different for everyone. And then, like, saying everything happens for a reason, like, yes, like, what you said is so true because I don't think, I don't think my grandpa deserved to die, right? Like, so I wouldn't put it in that. Mm-hmm. But you open my eyes because I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking use that anymore. I'm going to use divine timing because that's way intense. Like, that hits me
it's
so
way deeper.
Deep. Yeah,
it's way deeper.
Yeah, and so, like, I agree that some people just use, like, everything happens for a reason. Like, they just say that. Like, everything happens for a reason. Like,
it's kind of,
but I don't like to say it like that.
Believe it, and that's okay too.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I think that works for them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't for me.
No.
And that's okay.
Divine timing. Oh my God.
Divine timing.
All right, we're moving.
Timing.
We're moving into it.
Okay.
All right, we're back from the bathroom break, guys, and we are moving straight.
Let's jump straight into the hype part of the podcast. Basically, HiPED is an acronym that we all know, and so the first letter is happiness.
H is for happiness, my guy. I love happiness. I love being happy. I love seeing other people happy. I love everything there is to know about happiness. I think it's so amazing, the energy that happiness brings. It was so perfect when we created HiPED, how it worked out and how happiness was the first letter. And we're just gonna jump right into it.
Nice.
So what we like to ask is, what does happiness mean to you?
Oh my God, that's pretty loaded.
Yeah.
You know? So happiness for me is not a thing. It's more of a feeling. It's a state of mind. That's super important, and it's an awareness, and I would say it's also a responsibility. So happiness to me, I'm like, I know the feeling, what brings me happiness, but as I've evolved in my life, I've realized that it can't be based on any other human being. It's internal, and that's what I mean by it is a state of mind, and it's an awareness for me that if I'm not there, what do I do to create the happiness for myself? So it's, in other words, I can't rely on Lou or my kids to create the happiness, no matter what they do. Ultimately, what's going on in here, it's my responsibility. So to me, I mean, if I were to do, like, a state of mind to me to be happy is the internal talk. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And what are the things I'm telling myself? And letting go of a lot of things that I can't control right now, which can stifle my happiness. And a lot of that is future and past, which obviously we know we can't. That's where a lot of my thoughts will go when I'm not necessarily unhappy, but not feeling true joy, right? It's a worry of things that I can't control, or a little bit of anxiety sometimes, or stress, whether it's with my kids or even them, just driving from point A to point B, and as a parent going, oh my God, are they going to get there okay? And it's, but it's being aware of what, like, the gatekeeper of my mind, right? Yeah. What am I letting in? What am I letting in? And a lot of it for me is a feeling. I'm so kinesthetic. So it's like, what feels good that makes me happy? And 100% that answer is, the top thing that I would go to is what we call FF5, which is not FFT. Oh my God, that's so funny. I've never said it like that. But this is awesome. FF5 is Fonseca Family 5. So that's me, Lou, Lily, Andres, and Luis. So Fonseca Family 5 is like... Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm in my best, my absolute most joyful moments. I don't care if like Thanksgiving, we played Uno for like 3 hours.
Yes. And it was the
best. It was awesome.
Oh my God.
And then a card game called a dice game called Mexico.
Yes.
Yep.
Get out. Okay. So we played that. So we sat around this table for hours and played, right? Whether we're doing that or we're on a trip in Mexico, or when FF5 is together, man, I'm solid. Like, that is my most joyful place.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. And one of our traditions that we started this year is we do our Fonseca family supper on Sundays. And that is when we call in, because the boys are in Reno. And that actually came out of someone that did that in Eagle Quest.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know what exactly they called it, but I was like, I'm stealing that. Yeah. Thank you for that gift. And so it allows us to get together, and we have our little Zoom call or a Zappy hour, whatever you want to call it. But that's our time. That is our time together.
Happy hour.
Sometimes it's with wine, so it's a little Zappy hour. I think I coined that phrase.
You need to patent that up. Trademark or whatever.
Zappy hour.
It's already in the
Zappy
works.
hour mine. Anyway, so it really is a feeling, and that's what makes me the most happy. But there are other things that just, the state of mind is also like, if I'm not feeling it, it is my responsibility to shift it.
Yeah.
And an easy shift for me is to step outside. Like, nature for me is huge. Stepping outside, watching my hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. I love the sound of birds. I love the sound of my fountain. So even nature elements, seeing green grass, smelling fresh cut grass, mountains, being around water, like that will shift me instantly, my state of mind and my energy, to get to a happy place. Yeah. So, and I'm also okay at this stage of my life to not always feel happy.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to just, again, lean into whatever I'm feeling. Yeah. But I know that it's not anyone else's responsibility. I'm not waiting for anyone else to create that within me. It's up to me to find that. Yeah. So maybe sometimes that's picking up the phone and calling my brother, stepping outside, listening to hummingbirds, talking to the hummingbirds. Lou likes to tease me and go, "Okay, Snow White, how you doing out here?" Because I'm good look at the butterflies, right? Oh my God, there's a butterfly. Look at the little nestling in our backyard,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
And I get excited about that. I mean, if I were to look at my dog, Mika, our little shelter dog, her level... Oh my God,
You might be going
that
down for a
is
nap.
happiness
you might be
right
going
now.
down for a nap.
Yeah. But like a sound of happiness for me, my favorite sound is the sound of my children laughing. Their laughter
Oh my gosh.
fills me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fills me.
Yes.
But I love, and music is another big one for me
Wow.
that can shift my state.
Yeah.
So, man, when things just feel heavy and a lot of chatter, again, I've let too much in here. I wasn't a good gatekeeper. Then I just stand up and crank on some fun music. It's almost always 70s and 80s for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And just that can shift it like that. It's like, what? Why was I so stressed
Wow.
out about
Yep.
that? What's
Yep.
the big deal?
Wow.
So,
Almost
So-
like reframing. Like
Yes.
you reframe it just
Reframing,
like that.
like
resetting.
that.
And you already
Yeah.
chose, like you already know what reframes you. And
Yeah.
It just goes
Music,
back to the
nature,
awareness.
FF5.
Yeah.
Lou is, I always say he's my cheap entertainment, but man, brings such a level of joy to my life, and
gosh.
he's such a lighter energy that I know when I need to step in the next room. And sometimes, here's the funny thing, when he knows, he's so in tune with me and knows when, I may not even say it out loud, but he can see it's like, something's really heavy,
Yeah.
right? He'll put on funny videos, either of cute little pets, puppies tipping over while they're sleeping, or I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to say this out loud. One of the funniest things to me, and like videos of just fast videos, is people my age falling.
that's hilarious.
On the dance floor.
It's amazing.
On the dance floor.
I get it.
I always know that woman that's running on a swing into the lake. It's going to break.
Yeah.
Or she's going to fall on her face. And I
Yes.
don't know why that's funny to me, but it's really entertaining.
Two of the funniest things falling
Swear.
are older people and bigger
Yeah,
people.
yes.
And I'm on the bigger side, so I understand that. But I not that I enjoy falling, but I know it's going to make someone else laugh. But not that I go out there and I'm purposely falling.
Right.
But when it does happen, it's funnier than hell.
Right.
Because it just is. Because it's like a different way about it. Because like bigger people have the I'm taking everything down and
100%.
I'm gonna fall 10 times harder, so I'm and then older people have that
like slow,
yeah,
gotta catch
it's
themselves.
it's like a gradual fall, but it's still almost worse than any fall you've ever seen. Yeah, I love
No,
it.
like going down a slide. I don't like to see the videos of someone Bo's age falling. And they'll show stuff like that. Like I'll go, oh, but if someone my age were
Yeah.
to do that, I would be laughing my ass off. That's just so funny.
That is so funny. I think that the reason I would think that would be funny is because you think in your mind, this is for me, that I would never do that. But then you would do that because this is so funny. So when customers walk onto my truck and they turn a light on, they always turn the light on in their eyes. I would say 99 out of 100.
99%.
What do you mean?
They will like to check a light out to see
Yeah,
how bright it is.
yeah.
They'll do it in their eyes.
They know how a light works. They use it every single day.
I would do that.
Everybody
And
does.
everybody-
I've done it, right? I'm like, why would you do that? And then I do it. It's so funny.
They literally it couldn't be more in their eyes, and then they're
man, that's so
it's
bright.
bright, man. It's bright. And then they can't see for the next 7 minutes. You're like, yeah,
And then you're like, let me show you how to do it. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
yeah,
See, now that on video would make me laugh.
yeah,
Yeah, of
Because
course.
why are you doing that?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Why are you shining the light in your eyes?
Dude, I think.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
fucking-
just
that's
going back to
awesome.
those little moments, just to keep it. Lou reminds me of that a lot, like daily. Like just keep it simple. You
Yeah.
know, just
So- Yeah.
just relax and being able to be. That's why I say it's a state of mind, but it's also an awareness, and then it's a responsibility to I know I'm not in a good space right now. What am I going to do with it?
Well, and it's so
Yeah.
cool. It's so cool that you've realized, like you just said, when you're not in that you make that choice to then have those. I don't know if you call them anchors. I guess
Yeah.
to
That's
know
right.
to hey, well, I'm going to go get some fresh air, or I'm going to watch this video, or
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, that you make that instant choice to reel it back in. or let some stuff go to get you back into that better state. Because then, when you're not happy or you're stressed out or whatever, you're not going to, you probably don't make the best choices as you would if you're, feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Nice.
That choice factor right there. That you make that, you draw that line, and you're like, okay, I need to adjust. Yeah, that's powerful.
That's amazing.
That's pretty powerful right there.
Yeah, the reframing too.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like you have to, and you had talked about awareness earlier in the episode, but like you are aware that you're not happy. So what do I need to do to get out of it?
Yeah.
And then you move, right? It's all about moving forward. It's not like, oh, I'm not happy. Let me sit down for an hour and do this. Like, no, I'm not happy right now. I'm going to turn music on. Okay, that didn't make me happy. What do I need to do? Call, Luis or whatever you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like those steps, like, because not everything is like, not music might not make you happy. Like I've been in ruts where I'm driving into work and music doesn't do it for me. And I'm just like, shit. I need to figure something out because I need to go in with the best mindset. And you got to keep moving. You have to keep moving forward to then be your best self.
Yeah, I think that flows. Like what I love about hype so much is that they all flow. They all coincide with each other.
Yes, they
right?
do.
So that happiness leads to the next letter, which is I, which stands for inspiration.
Yeah.
Right. And so I guess like. So the question we like to ask is what does it mean to you to inspire others?
Well, that's happy right there.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gift that I've been able to be a part of an organization like Rapport where I get to really flip on the light switch for people again, to wake up in their life. And so to be able to be in a position like that, it's very fulfilling for me to be able to do that. And yet I look at people in my life that inspire me and the things that inspire me and growth. You talked about that at the very beginning, being open to learning from others, always being humble and knowing that there's always these fresh starts, right? But it's little things that inspire me, like watching my kids make adult decisions and how they, in their group of friends, right? Like talking about the Lopez brothers, right? And quality human beings and seeing my kids make great choices. That inspires me to be better. Watching someone run up and open the door for someone else, I don't care their age, God, that inspires me.
Yes.
It's like kindness. It's it's very simple things.
The Allstate commercial. Where like you see somebody doing something good and then that person does something good and because someone's always watching.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Yes.
And someone is always watching.
Yes.
And it's contagious, it's infectious, and it feels good.
Yeah.
And I think at a time like this when we can do things like that and just be a little extra thoughtful, that inspires me.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to the grocery store, so I'm going to call my neighbor, my 75-year-old neighbor, and say, are you ready for some more Kaiser rolls? Do you need some? What else can I get you at the store?
Yeah.
Like, just little things like that inspire me. My mom was my biggest inspiration growing up. She was my shero and still is.
Yeah.
Like, she's a rock star and she's a fighter and what she stood for and her fortitude and always finding the best in situations and the best in others.
Yeah.
That inspires me. What you guys are doing to make the world a better place, to show up as dads and still make time for something that's so important that can just be a little light for someone in the day, or someone grasps onto something, a new concept and goes, I'm going to be better today because of that. Yeah. That inspires me. I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that, like, what you said, like holding the door open for someone or you calling your neighbor, like those acts of kindness, unfortunately, are so not popular, I think, anymore. And so when, like, you do that for someone, if you put kindness on a pedestal, that it can really change people's lives, because people don't, not that it's an expectation for someone to hold the door open, but they don't even think about it.
Well, it's so undervalued.
Yeah, they're just like,
it's
nah,
so
that person's not going
undervalued.
to hold it.
How about with the mask right now? They don't. People don't even smile. I mean, it's like there's no emotion. Not from everyone, but it's like the human touch and connection is just missing. So little things like that inspire so much.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
really changed someone's life for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the water bottle with the trash guy thing. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if that
that's
changes that guy's
awesome.
day. He might have the
Yeah.
best day because I gave him a water bottle and a soda.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, yeah, that's
It's
gotta
not
mean
that
a
it-
lot. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just a simple act, and I unfortunately and this isn't gonna get into we're not gonna get into a whole bunch of weird things, but like with where the state of the world is,
Yeah.
we need more of that.
Just
Absolutely.
kindness.
We need more of
Yeah.
that because it's so I feel like with everything that it's been going on, everybody falls in. Well, not everybody, but people will fall into that I gotta watch out for number one.
Exactly.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if everybody, just reached out to a neighbor or held the door open or smiled a little bit more or whatever, just one time a day.
That energy,
dude,
that
what?
energy of kindness,
Yeah.
is going
Like,
to spread like
what?
wildfire
What?
spread.
Dude, we wouldn't have disagreement. You know what I'm saying?
Problem.
It would limit it a lot. And it's just sad that we're getting away from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That it's just
That kindness is underrated.
I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so tough to
It
see
really
that.
is, yeah.
You know?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes with all these letters that we're talking about, it requires effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It does. And it's not always easier to feel happy or to be inspired, or it takes a concerted effort to want to do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier, when we get into positivities, it's for a lot of people, it's easier to be negative or to find what's wrong rather than what's right.
Yes.
Right.
And so, inspiring to make the effort, and to again, awareness. What am I going to do today to make Kyle smile a little bit more,
Yeah.
or to make my spouse feel a little bit better, or
Yeah.
to make do something for my neighbor? It's a conscientious effort, and I really believe that it takes people like us that are willing to do it. Guess what? We pay it forward. And that encourages someone else to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we move straight into positivity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
How does positivity affect you in your life?
It's a game changer daily for me. Like how I choose to show up. As I mentioned a minute ago, it's easier. Even I don't mean to make it sound like that, but even for me, that teaches it. It's easy to focus on what isn't.
Oh,
and so
100%,
a
100%.
level of gratitude daily, of an awareness of what do I have? And sometimes it's easier to identify what I don't to help me identify what I do have. Or sometimes it's easier to identify what I don't like to help me identify what I do like. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But man, positivity is, I know how I feel. I'm so kinesthetic. So for me, I like to feel good. And when I don't feel good, I think for a lot of people, they go, well, it's the president's fault, or it's my spouse's fault, or it's the way I was raised, or it's my parents. That's a bunch of BS, right?
Yeah.
Like where I'm at now, it's up to me to create how I want to feel.
Yeah. You
And
gotta
so
take that
for me,
ownership.
that positivity starts with gratitude and all that I have. But I have the freaking best life. Like I've got the coolest
Yeah.
people. I have you guys in my life.
Yeah.
I've got my husband is my best friend, 25 years of marriage, and I freaking love to see him every day.
Yeah.
I miss him when I don't get to see him. And my children, they're cool adults, they're young adults. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I like hanging out with you.
Yeah.
And then the circle that I have, it's small yet it's mighty. And that's all that I need. I like my circle. I've got a couple of women that I can really be transparent with and vulnerable with. And I love that at this time of my life. There's just so much goodness around me. So the positivity, though, I realize that when I'm not feeling that, it's all up here. It is the chatter, because there's always going to be a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot going on right now. So it's not always about walking around warm and fuzzy and going, everything's great. No, it's not. Yet what do I choose to do that's going to make it great for me and the people around me?
Yeah.
Walking over to every day I drive by this homeless tent okay, that has just tons of stuff out there. And just 2 days ago, we've got all this food in the office and walking that food across to them.
Wow.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And then dropping off jackets that we have, long sleeve shirts that are sitting around our house that, like, that's not any, any big revelation to do that. No. Wow, pat on the back. No, but it feels so good to give to others.
Yeah.
Whether it's an energy, whether it's a mindset, whether it's a physical item, and that's fulfilling for me throughout the day. And so, I
like that because I love positivity, and I strive every day to see the positive side of. Because it is a lot harder. Mm-hmm. It's one of the it's one of the biggest things that we control, but it's one of the easiest things to not do at the same time. Because it's like you said, it's so easy to listen to the news or to go on to social media and or maybe it's a video or something you liked or whatever, and you read the comments and there's people arguing in the comments. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you do? Like, come on, man! Like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Or move on, and it's that choice to be able to give that good energy and that good thought out there, because if you are wanting to be better, it starts with your mindset and your choice to say, okay, the woe is me kind of a thing, like, everything bad happens to me. You could, if you want to have that mindset, sure, that's what. You're limiting yourself. Yeah. You just put the ceiling on yourself, right? But if you can step back and be like, okay, well, yes, this happened, right? So like, let's go back. Like, you had that choice to have, like, and so did your mom with your brother about having a negative, because that is a negative thing, right?
It's horrible.
It's very sad and it's a negative thing, but. Then your mom being able to still make your birthday a positive thing was so huge for, like, I feel like for you in that point in your life, and then for you to be able to take, like, the spirit and the love and all the great attributes that your brother had, and to distribute that in a positive way to your life and to your family, and now, and like you said, you see it in your kids now, you know what I'm saying, and you feel that love, and like, that's just a choice. And so every day, like, it's a hard choice, because the easier thing to do is to be negative every day, because, you could point out a million things that suck over maybe the one or two things that were really awesome that happened that day. But if you focus on those one or two things, or do your best to focus on those one or two things, you're going to have a better day. Regardless, like, if you had 37 negative things happen. You know what I'm saying? It's all about focusing on that positive, because that's going to attract more positivity.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned the word anchors. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay.
But I think that's a big part of it too, is like, as the day progresses, it's like we talk in Leader 2 about cause and effect, because I have, like, amazing plans when I start my day out. And then, sometimes there's just a ton of things that happen. Yeah. Maybe it's getting cut off in the morning, right? That can really affect the mindset of what could have happened, and we can kind of go down that rabbit hole and be stuck in that energy. But it is truly a conscientious effort. And so to have a couple anchors of, man, what's going to bring me joy today? What's going to keep me in that positive state of mind today? And usually it starts with gratitude for me. Like, what I have in my life. And also to respect everyone else's space. I'm not here to push the way I feel or to question where you're at, because we're all in our own space. Yet, man, I have a responsibility in how I want to feel for the day, and I know how much my energy impacts the people around me. Yeah. Because I'm affected by other people's energy. Yeah. And yet also getting to a point in my life where I don't have to allow, their energy doesn't have to impact me negatively. It's okay to be where you're at, but I also don't have to let that in. Yeah. I can just let it bounce off and go to where I want to go and feel. Yeah. Yeah. Like last night, so like
I like to play Call of Duty. It's a video game, right? And so there's a guy that
I know that.
there's a guy that like streams right on Twitch, right? So you can I don't know if you know much about this, but basically people go online to watch other people play
Yeah,
the
my
game.
kids play.
Right, yeah. And so but you go on and watch them play, and there's like a chat room and stuff like that.
Right.
So you don't know who these people are. And so there was this guy came on there, like I don't, guy or girl, I don't know. But the person came on and they messaged like, hey, does anybody want to play? I need to clear my head. I've been going through some stuff. And so then, like, because you can chat, you can tag them in the chat so they know that you're talking with them. And like my first instinct, I tagged it and I just said, hey, think of one thing that you're grateful for right now and focus on that. And then there was no chat, like there was no correspondence, so I didn't know if he got it or whatever.
Right.
And so then literally like 45 minutes later, the person, because I don't know if it was a guy or girl, like comments back like, all right guys, like thanks, this really helped me, whatever, I've just been going through some stuff, like thanks. And I was like, so then I just I reposted again. I said, I think his name was like Moxie or whatever, and I was like, Moxie, write down right now or one thing a day that you're grateful for, and it'll help you. And then he was like, and then the comment he got back was like, yeah, like I really appreciate that, like it helped change my day. And I was like, dude, like, and I think Gabby talks about that in her book, like having a grateful journal, and like writing something down that you're grateful for every day, because you're flipping that mindset, because there is, what I'm saying, like I could have the worst day of my entire life, and then I walk through the door beeps. My son is sitting here. He's starting to know that like that beep 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 is the door opening. So then his head goes up, and then I poked my head through the corner of my door, and he just gives me the cheesiest, like goofiest little smile, and I'm like,
wonderful.
I'm like, okay, like whatever, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, one, he is giving me the purest form of happiness to see me. And my heart is just filled with joy. And I just know that like this is where I'm supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, I made it back home. I'm with my family, and I just got the most love. You know what I'm saying? And then he wants me to pick him up. He's grabbing me. Whatever.
That's awesome.
Like there's nothing else that matters.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And so no matter what, I know for me now, like I can fall back on that, right? Because now I've that's my anchor, right? That's when I if I had whatever, clear my head, or listen to music on the way home, whatever. I know that I have that when I come home.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
What a gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And going back to inspiration, you taking, this is what we mean by that thoughtfulness too, right?
Yeah.
Taking the extra step to respond.
Yeah.
You don't know the difference that made for Moxie, or whomever that was. I mean, just, right? I mean, because we could all read that and go, oh God, that kind of sucks to be in that place. No, you took, it just took a couple seconds. Yeah. That's the difference, though. That's the impact. And that feels good, right? Yeah. I mean, to me it does, to just know that if it made someone smile or feel a little bit better, just a little shift in thinking. Wow, to get to be a part of that is awesome.
Yeah. Like I literally don't.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Yes.
Crazy, man.
It's amazing.
Yes, Tom.
I think like a lot of what I think positivity comes from is like accountability. So, like, you're accountable for your own positivity, right? And your choices. And so I think a lot of times, like, accountability isn't, like, held high for people. And that's, like, ultimately, you're accountable for everything in your life. And so when you made the choice, like, you made that choice to go give the long sleeves and the jackets. You made that choice to comment back to him. Like, no one was telling you to do that. And by doing that, you spread your positivity. And so, like when someone has something wrong in their life, they want to blame someone else. Like, no, that's on me. Like, it's on me to be positive and how I'm going to, whatever, shift your mentality.
Right.
And so that, like, a lot of times I focus on that. And, I mean, even hearing what you guys did is amazing. Like, it's like incredible for sure. Like, those little things is what changes the world for sure. It's like you taking those, the food and the long sleeves and the jackets, you commenting, like, it's just effort. It's just effort, and the payoff is 10x.
Yeah.
It's 10x. Like, anytime you do that, it's 10x. It's never like, it doesn't even need, no, you guys aren't doing it for that reason, but that's how it works, and that's how the universe works, and it's like, getting so going into enthusiasm, like getting so enthusiastic about that. Like, you're happy and you're enthusiastic about giving them the jackets, and here's the food. Like, I hope this changes your, like, I hope this helps you and changes your life, and you hope that your message helps Mox.
Yeah.
And like that, like you're changing Jet's life every time you come in, and you're happy for him because he's going to see that, and then he's going to do that. And that's like, you're accountable for that. Like, that's your life,
Genuinely wanting the best for other human beings.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like, and respecting where everyone is at.
Yeah.
And that is significant. I mean, to know, and there's also some peace of mind, I think, in that. There's some relief in knowing that it's not my job to fix that. We've talked in different situations where we just have reached out to each other and needed each other. And I'm not here to fix that. I'm not here to judge that, but just to be there. And that's where I think being resourceful and knowing that we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
We don't, be realistic about our expectations, but utilize the people in our life and our circle of influence, right, to empower us, especially when we want to be positive, and I need a little help right now to get there.
Yeah.
So whatever that may look like. And you mentioned social media. I'll tell you guys, leading into the election process was horrible. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Everything on TV, everything on Facebook. And I reset my phone 6-7 weeks ago, and I've not been on Facebook since.
Yeah.
And which is kind of crazy because they think I have a live for 5 on Tuesday. I'm not even sure. But I'm running.
Yeah.
However, and the reason why is because this was the awareness that I had. When I got on Facebook, I would love to see a moment of, oh my God, look at the pictures.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the very next message was the negativity and the name calling. And I would leave that. I wish I would just, like you said, just scroll through the message and let it go. I usually don't even read a lot of the comments because it triggers certain things. And then I'm like, what? Yeah. Right? And so what I did is I just stopped looking at Facebook. Yeah. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm doing just freaking fine.
Yeah. You made that choice.
In fact, I feel better. And I don't even feel like I was more of a ghost Facebooker.
Yeah.
Right? Where I would just kind of zip in and like Luis is like,
you are.
Mom,
for sure.
like
for
you
sure.
post
Just monitors stuff here and there.
Luis is like, Mom, you have my 2018 picture up there. that's the last picture you posted. So I was like, I love that picture. I like it. But you might want to post something. Okay, no. So I would just occasionally scroll through it anyway, just kind of like filling space sometimes before bed. And I'd carry that into just my dreams or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I realized it's my responsibility to do something that makes me feel good. And whether that's reading Gabby's book or, maybe listening to a little Abraham Hicks or a little Tony, whatever it is to just feel good. Sometimes it's just soothing music. Maybe it's Sarah.
Yeah. Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's like Bob Ross.
Yeah.
When he paints.
I
was talking to Everett about that the other day. It's amazing. It's just amazing.
All right.
Like, you think about Bob Ross's hair, it's amazing.
That is incredible.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's special.
He was like he is a legend.
Bob Ross.
And his hair is incredible. I feel like that's one of the reasons I have the mullet.
That's
It's like you have to be.
the definition of doing what you want to do. Bob
Ross. Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. Do what you want to do. Bob Ross.
I think we have to move into enthusiasm.
Okay.
So, what ultimately, what brings you enthusiasm?
FF5, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that is my core. That is what brings me the most energy, the most joy, the most excitement. Like, I feel the most fulfilled and alive there. I also really feel alive in the classroom. Like, when I get to interact with people, when I get to see them on day 3 of training compared to day 1, and to see them so excited to live their lives, like, to be a part of that is, to be out on the ropes course and see people, right, doing amazing things that they thought they could never do. That brings me absolute joy and enthusiasm. And that's really what, to me, enthusiasm is. Well, the actual translation is of the spirit, is what it means. So what resonates with my spirit, right?
Yeah.
And that is just like my loved ones in those moments and celebrating the moments, the small things. And that just, whether it's Lily, improving in her grades, or talking to one of you guys and hearing what the kids are doing, or talking to my boys, or seeing Lou do something, like to hear Lou come home and talk about his mountain bike ride, they all sound pretty much the same, but he's so excited about it, and that brings enthusiasm to me too. Like, I genuinely get excited about it. So enthusiasm to me looks different. It could be watching you guys in EQ rock it the way you do on the rope swing or whatever it may be, right? Like, that is pure joy. And that's what it is to me, is pure joy, whatever that looks like for people.
I think it's okay. I think that unfortunately, some people think it's like not okay to be enthusiastic and to show your emotions. When I think of enthusiasm, I think of like European sports. Like, if you go to a European soccer game, those people are out of their mind, crazy, bonkers, live and die by that soccer team.
Nipples painted,
like freaking. They don't care about anything that you're saying to them. They are in that game, I love that. Losing your shit when the Chiefs score a touchdown, like that excitement level in your life is unmatched. You can't match it. You literally can't.
It's who you are. It's who you are. Yeah. Like, that enthusiasm is like who the inner Kyle is, right? And you're right. And I feel, because everybody so like, example, like if you have a desk job, right, and you go into work every day and you sit at a cubicle and you're doing your thing, right? There's no one else around. You know what I'm saying? Like you are letting your enthusiasm form to the surroundings instead of you letting your enthusiasm affect your surroundings, right? And so, like, I think that like that's super important, right? Because like you need to be yourself all the time. Because when you're yourself all the time, that's when like you're gonna have a better relationship with your friends, your family. You're gonna have a better, you know what I'm saying? Everything when you can just be yourself, like, right? It just comes to being yourself, not putting on a smile, not putting on a fake, whatever, to go to your job or go to an interview or whatever it is, whatever you're doing every day. It's got to be the truest form, because that's when you're going to have the happiness. That's when you're going to be at 100, not at 75, because this is the way I'm supposed to do something. No, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And people kind of like, not that they frown on it, but it's foreign to them because of how we've been molded, I guess, how society's been molded to like, that person's kind of loud and outgoing, right? No, that's them.
Right.
That's them.
Right.
Like, be like that. Like, I think one of the most powerful things I've seen in like the last like week and a half, like I like Jay-Z's music, whatever, but he's in an interview and he's sitting there and and they asked him a question and he's like, I'm me. He goes, when I walk into a room, my voice doesn't change. When I go out, I don't put on a face for people. I'm me all the time. And he literally says that's why he's been so successful. He's literally, like, whether you like his music or not, he is very freaking successful, and he's making a ton of money, and he still is. And he literally said the reason is because he's himself all the time. He's like, no matter who calls me, my voice tone doesn't change, because I'm not gonna talk up or talk down. No, I'm myself. And I was like, dang, dude.
Because he shows us truth.
Yeah, I was like, dang, dude, that was powerful. Right? Because so then I'm thinking, right, I talked to him in my mentals. I was like, dude, where do I do that? Where do I do that? Do I do that? Yeah. Not anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like just let it go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because people, if they like you then, they're going to like you even more. You know what I'm saying? And if they, what if they don't, then, hey, then you didn't need that, then you don't need them. You know what I'm saying? Because you want them to know you for who you are, not for who the social media, you know what I'm saying? Not for what the Instagram looks like, hey,
there's no fear of judgment. Yeah, no fear of judgment.
Does that make sense?
Right?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that on social media is to look a certain way, right? And so it doesn't seem very true to me. And authenticity is so important and undervalued, I think. But that is what, like, of the spirit, like what connects with the spirit. So for me, sometimes that enthusiasm is just walking in the backyard and talking to the hummingbirds, or, like watching turtles. Anything with animals for me is like, God, it just radiates with my spirit.
Yeah.
And I get excited about that, and what that enthusiasm looks like is, I think it has to connect to your core, to your soul, and what feels right and feels good.
Yeah.
And when you feel like your best self, whatever that looks like, that to me is enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And that's why I love in our training when people go, well, right, when they're getting processed in a certain process, and they go, I wouldn't normally do that. Well, we want you to do something that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to see that light switch where people go, oh, I have another level of joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I could get there.
Yes.
I didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And they do it. They figure it out themselves.
Yep.
So
It's powerful.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's
The
super
level
powerful.
of joy that like is hidden is unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
when people bring that out. for
And the
sure.
other thing is, I think that what happens is we spend so much of our lives worried about what other people think and being judged, even though a lot of us say, no, we don't. Yeah, we do.
Every day. Yeah.
And just being able to be true to yourself and not allow other people to dim your light. And I think that's very important. Even in this new job, like where I've been at Rapport, I've established myself. There's an energy that I bring in. There's an energy that's expected of me. And I love that. And walking into this environment, it's funny, we had our company meeting with Power Promotions the other day, and one of my teammates said, one of the things that irritated me about you so much when you started, I'm like, me? What?
Yeah.
She goes, is that you were so freaking happy.
Yeah.
And she goes, and it bothers me that irritated me, but it's true. And I was like, oh, unapologetically, I'm saying I'm a happy person. And it's a choice, though.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes.
that's a lot of it, is just living unapologetically to be able to go, this is me, and not... You don't have to like me. Not everyone has to like
Right.
me.
Yep, that's
I
okay.
get to continue to be me, because that's when I feel my best.
Yeah.
Yep. That's when I'm at 100.
That's
100.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move into dreams.
Or we're going to be here till noon.
Dreams is really important to us because dreams could be anything for anybody, right? It could be the biggest goal in the world, or it could be a super small, dream. But what is your biggest dream for your life?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I would say, the biggest dream, and this is going to be in my circle, is true happiness for my children, for them to find what they're passionate about and to be able to share that with the world, and for them to live happy. Like to find a spouse or significant other, or if that's alone, like to really find their inner peace and joy, and to be able to live their life that way, and for it to not take as long as it's taken me to find that. But I feel like that's I'm going to justify how that, what that sounds like, but that to me would be my ultimate dream, is my children living their very best life, whatever that looks like for them. And then I have lots of dreams, though, and I love that dreams evolve. Like I evolve, and I really kind of look at it as like a book, like chapters. And where I was growing up, my biggest dream, being with a single mom, I really just wanted a dad. Mm-hmm. Like I wanted to have, and I have a dad. He lived in another state, and I saw him once a year, and I talked to him maybe once a month. And so my dream growing up, besides wanting a pet monkey, I don't know where that came from, but I did, is I wanted to have a great marriage and a wonderful family, just a happy family.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking living the dream. Like I've got that, right?
Yeah.
And then just a lot of little dreams that I have of how I choose to live my life, and the people that I surround myself with, and that I can be exposed to awesome people like the two of you that go, oh, yeah, I want to do that, or I want to go there, and I love that it evolves, that they, like you said, they can be little things, where I want to be next week.
Never stop dreaming. Yeah.
Yeah, and that my dreams, are limitless. And
Yeah.
and truly the only one obviously that puts any limits is myself on those dreams.
Yep.
And or getting in my own way or stopping myself from getting there is self-limitations that
Yeah.
I impose. And so really just opening my mind. And I think, again, we could plug in whatever word we want, yet we could say life is happening for us, not to us. I mean, right now it seems very fitting to say
Yeah.
2020. And by the way, where I heard that, Tony Robbins this summer. 2020 is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I was like,
It's amazing.
oh my God.
It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
I
love
just
it.
think about so the FFTs that I talked about, right? Everything I'm doing right now that's so itchy and scratchy out of my comfort zone. My God, since July, all that I've learned about myself and learned about a whole new business that I would have never known had I not been in this situation and chosen to do something different. And so my dreams have even evolved since July and what I want to do for myself and where Lou and I want to travel and where we want to be a year from now financially and trips that we want to take and then the kids making the decisions that they've made and allowing me my dreams to evolve because of what they want is so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean dreams are they're ongoing, and here's the other big thing I would say with dreams that's super important to me is sharing those dreams out loud.
Yeah.
Because I can't expect Lou to support me or the kids to support me or my closest friends if I don't share them. And it's a little scary to do that because what if I'm not living up to that dream, which could be a goal, a purpose. I mean, it could be interchangeable sometimes to me. But I have a responsibility to share it with the people in my life so they can help me get there.
Yeah.
Because they're not mind readers. So that's the other big thing is saying, okay, I don't know what all this looks like, but I kind of want to do this.
Yeah.
One of my friends, Dancing Phoenix, who we talk on Marco Polo like daily, and talking about these really fun things that we'd like to do sometimes, really in-depth conversations yet. One of her things, Phoenix, I hope it's okay to share this, is to have a traveling bar. Like to show up at parties and just be like, boop, 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 and here I am, right? And I was like, oh my God, you were made to do this, right? Like,
Yes.
but to be able to share things like that and to feel safe and vulnerable to say it and okay to say it unapologetically and go, this is what I want. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I want this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And to share that with people in our lives feels really good to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
most important thing I think you said during that is that dreams evolve, right? And because I feel like too many times people have one dream.
Right.
Right. I want to be financially stable.
Right.
Right. That's their dream. Okay. That's not bad, but what else? You know what I'm saying? What about there's so many other awesome things that the world offers us and experiences that we can have that don't limit yourself to one thing. And then constantly change them because you can constantly improve yourself and you will achieve it. If you focus on it long enough and you put energy towards it, you'll achieve it eventually. Maybe it's a long-term dream, maybe it's a short-term dream, maybe it's a you will achieve it as long as you focus on it. And so that's what I think super important is that, like you said, they evolve.
Yeah.
And so don't limit yourself and don't stop yourself from dreaming because at that point you're dead. You know what I'm saying? When you stop dreaming, it's
We're
you know what I'm
growing
saying?
or
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Right?
Dreams never die.
Yeah.
Literally.
Dreams never die, dude.
My dream could be to inspire 1 billion people. And you might be like, holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's literally
Okay.
insane. Like, you're not going to do that.
One person at a
Eat
time.
off that
Dude,
shit.
one person at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. I might inspire 975 million. Sending it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you have to, setting crazy dreams is so awesome to me because you never know. Like, it's infinite. Like, the possibilities
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah. Dude,
And in your life.
Never know.
Can I just kind of share a pet peeve with you? Like when I look at Facebook or any type of social media, sometimes I find inspiration from certain things, but it's become a pet peeve when I see people just posting quotes or live your life like this. That sounds real advicey, right? I'm sure advicey is a word.
Yeah, it is.
And but to me, it's like, don't tell me that. Show me.
Yeah.
Like show it. Show up.
Don't talk
show
about
up.
it. Be
I want to see you live it. I want to see you do this, and that's what inspires me. Is when people are like,
when people are doing it.
not just don't give me this fluffy quote.
Yeah.
What the hell does that even mean?
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to see you live it, and that's where I think talking about it out loud, sharing our dreams out loud helps us get there. So when you talk about inspiring that many people, it's like, how do you do that? How are you going to get there, Dom? I don't know, but I'm gonna live it every day.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to do it. I don't have to have all the answers to my dream or the A to Z checklist of how I'm going to get there. I'm just going to start doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. Don't talk
It's
about
action.
it. Be about it. That's literally like
I love that.
when we were
love it.
my college football team, that was in our locker room, was don't talk about it, be about it. Because that's like the purest form of doing it. Like you will show someone so much more by doing something than telling them or just saying it. Because actions speak so much louder than words. Like it's insane. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I cannot stand it when someone posts something like that and then I know that they're not living that. Like I know, like I'm just like, you're just BSing. Whatever, your Facebook friends or whoever you want to get that out to, and you're living a lie to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding the things that resonate, right? Like, again, resonate with the soul. Like, so for me, it's not reading a quote, although quotes are nice, right? It's not reading a quote. It's watching you go open the door for someone.
Yeah.
Right? And I just go, that was awesome. Oh, I'm going to do that for someone.
Yeah.
And that feeds my soul.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That feeds your soul. I think that's
Guys,
it. Episode 003, dude. Michelle,
dude.
the legend. Let's get it now, Fonseca.
FFT
Hype
Fonseca.
Life, FFT, FF5, hashtag. What's your
Divine timing?
divine timing?
We said some great things. I think we need some
Oh my
shirts.
gosh.
Hashtag FF.
What's your
2020?
FaceTime thing with the wine? What?
What?
Zoom.
Oh, Zappy Hour.
Zappy Hour.
Hashtag
Hashtag
Zappy Hour.
That's mine.
Zappy-
That's mine.
You heard it first.
Hashtag
Right?
Zappy Hour.
Hype sessions. Wow.
See you guys later.
Live your life hyped. Woo!